It's Thursday the 7th of May 2020. Our chat today is with Phil Brajkovich. Phil is an old Midland identity who grew up in the goldfields and came to Midland just towards the end of the Second World War.
April 1944.
Phil, can you tell us your date of birth and where you were born?
9th of June 1931, Boulder, West Australia.
And how long did you spend in Boulder?
We left the goldfields, I think, when we was 12. We went to York.
Right. But why did you go to York?
My father was in the army at York.
Right.
And we lived in Midland Street in York. And then later on, the father bought the property at Middle Swan, and we come down in April 1944, I think, to Middle Swan.
Where was Dad born?
He was born in Croatia in 22nd of October 1907.
Right. And what year did he come to Australia?
He came out here as a 17-year-old in 1924.
God. And he went to the goldfields?
He went to the goldfields, worked on the wood line, then he worked on the mines, then eventually bought a property. We lived at 144 Whitnam Street, Boulder, down from the Gold Eagle Hotel.
Right.
Yeah.
Amazing. And then, so you came to York, and from York...
went to Middle Swan.
Whereabouts in Middle Swan?
To Bishop Road, Middle Swan in 1944, I think, or 43.
How many were in the family then?
There was about 11 of us, I think.
Amazing.
Yeah. And then we all went to school at somewhere. I went to high school at Middle Swan because I was the oldest at the time, and the others all went to the Middle Swan State School. I went to the high school in Midland because I was 13 when we come down.
Right. And that high school in Midland is situated in Great Eastern Highway?
Yeah, Great Eastern Highway, yeah.
Where the Arts Centre is now. There's an opera centre there.
Yeah, went to school there from 44 to 47.
And what year, what grade did you achieve at school?
Went to 9th standard, got the junior certificate.
Right, okay.
Those days.
Yeah.
Then I joined the railways on the 22nd of October 1947.
Was it hard to get into the railways in those days?
Not really. I had no problem. I put it because I had the junior certificate. Though most of the stuff I had was industrial courses, metalwork, woodwork, and so forth, but English and geography and so forth. So in the first appointment, they sent me to Junior Clerk Kalgoorlie on the 22nd of October 1947, and I was put on the switchboard in Kalgoorlie's railway station.
How did you get to Kalgoorlie?
On the old Kalgoorlie Express. Travelled first class, had a first class sleeper, free pass.
Overnight?
Overnight. Yeah.
Did you get breakfast on the train?
Yeah, you had the meals on the train. All I had to do was pay for a meal and sleep, but you had free first class travel. Those days, because we were clerks or the railway officers, so we always travelled. There was first and second class. We travelled first class, free pass. You paid for your sleepers and you paid for your meals on the Kalgoorlie Express or the Westland.
Did you enjoy your time in Kalgoorlie, going back home?
Yeah, well, I went back at auntie lived in York Street in Boulder, so I ended up living with my auntie. Then she went down to Midland because she got sick. She come down to this thing, and I ended up living in a boarding house in Kalgoorlie in Boulder for a while till I got transferred back to Midland.
And what did you do in the station at Kalgoorlie?
Kalgoorlie was on the switchboard, a switchboard operator.
A male switchboard operator?
Yeah, on the junior clerk on the switchboard, and you had to learn Morse code to send different signals. I had a third class ticket in Morse code, and so I did that, and you used to have to, when you signal different stations, you had stations down Salmon Gums, Esperance, Leonora, Gawler, Norseman, Salmon Gums, Esperance.
And the switchboard, was it a plug-in?
Plug-in, yeah, with cords.
And you had transfer cores?
Yeah, transfer cores. We had to have Morse code because you had to signal different stations with a different signal, like if you rang Kalgoorlie, you might have a single left, which was dit, dit, da, dit, things like that. I've forgotten the code now.
Yeah. But could you imagine the young people coping with that today? They wouldn't. They'd need their emails.
Yeah.
So so you got advice. Did you apply for a transfer to come to Midland, or were you just told you were being moved?
I was at Kalgoorlie switchboard. Then I spent a couple of years or so in Kalgoorlie, lived with my auntie in York Street in Boulder, down from the powerhouse.
Yeah.
And then I ended up on the switchboard in Kalgoorlie. Then I was going to transfer to Junior Clerk, Boulder railway station.
Right.
So I stopped there till I got a transfer to Midland, and then I spent about 13 or 14 years at Midland Station.
At Midland Station, and what?
First I was on the switchboard, and after I was the clerk in the goods office.
Right.
Then I was a relief officer and used to do the staff work and things like that. Livestock clerk down to the abattoirs, for the railways. Yeah.
Yeah, and how long did you spend there then as a junior clerk? At Midland?
Midland, well, when you turn 21, you become a sixth class, you're a junior clerk, and when you turn 21, you become a sixth class officer. Then you applied for jobs, and then you got transferred. I got transferred I went to Kalgoorlie, I went to Margaret River, went to Dongra.
So just coming back to Midland, where was the goods shed in association to the old Midland Station?
It was it was opposite the railway station. There was where opposite the Kalgoorlie Vale Hotel, and the goods office just across the line over the footbridge there. The goods office was just across over the on the opposite side of the railway station.
On the workshop side.
Yeah, the workshop side.
And what did people bring there to?
Most of the vineyards used to bring their fruit to send to the markets, the gold fields. Sent wine all over the country. The barrels of wine.
So all different kinds of freight.
Yeah, so it was freight. They used to send the oranges, and they had the markets, and as I say, they had then you had the workshop across the road, the railway workshops, and the footbridge going across the...
That's right.
Yeah. I remember that being built, as a matter of fact. Yeah.
So the work you did as a junior clerk...
Yeah, I was on the switchboard.
In the switchboard at
switchboard, then I went to...
on the station you were
station and the switchboard.
And when you moved into the goods office...
Yeah, I was a clerk in the goods office.
Yeah, and what sort of...
I was cashier.
So you were handling money?
Yeah, I was the cashier. Like, they come in and pay the freights, and I used to work out freights and so forth. I ended up being relief officer or staff clerk at the railway station, doing the rosters and all for the staff. We had the marshalling yard staff, you had the station staff, porters, clerical staff. Yeah. It's the worst job I ever done in the railways. Doing office work was doing the staff work, dealing with staff, doing timesheets, rosters.
Oh, yeah, okay. So you had some interaction with a lot of people on that Midland Station. How many people do you reckon worked around Midland Station in those
Midland
days?
Station, we had a hell of... Well, I was acting staff clerk. I was a relief officer and staff clerk, so we had about 300 staff. You had the marshalling yards going. You had the staff at the marshalling yard. Oh. You had the station staff. You had the goods office staff, booking office. There was quite a lot of clerical people. Plus all the shunters and marshalling yard used to do the rosters for the marshalling yards, the shunting yards.
That was down towards
Bellevue End. Yeah, there was a couple hundred men employed down there, like shunters, guards. I used to do the rosters, timesheets.
Amazing. So you would have come across some interesting characters.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, there was some. Yeah.
Do you recall any stories involving those interesting characters?
It's hard to say. So, talking out of church.
Yeah, well, you don't have to talk out of church, but just a couple, maybe, from the washout area.
Oh, the washout area old Ernie Beale used to go down there and work at the washout. I forgot now who else was there down there? I can't think of their names.
He had a son, Bongo.
Yeah, Bongo, yeah. And what was the other one's name? Yeah, the other one who had the gimpy arms and legs, I can't think. I can't think of their names. Ernie Beals and Steve Stiles was the goods porter.
Oh, yeah.
Frank Dye was the clerk in charge. Bill Pether was the livestock clerk. Harry Pomme was the staff clerk.
Yeah.
I think Seth Moon was their station master. Who was the station? Cyril Frayne was the station master.
Oh.
There was
Big operation.
a big station was there. I got to, when I was relief, the worst job I ever done on the road was being staff clerk. We did all the rosters, and we had a couple of hundred men on the staff at Midland. You had the marshalling yards, the station staff.
And tell me, in the how did the blokes get paid? Like, say for instance, Bongo Beals. How did he get? Did he have to fill out a timesheet?
Yeah, they had to do timesheets, fill timesheets, but he'd get somebody else to fill it in because Bongo couldn't write, really.
Yeah.
How he got the job, I don't know. But
Well, a lot of people got jobs in the railways to do, a lot of terrible jobs.
Oh, yeah.
There was a job for everybody.
They had a job for everybody, yeah. As long as you turned up.
So, as a young bloke growing up in Midland, what did you do for social life?
Well, brothers used to play cricket and hockey and so forth. I used to go along to spectate. I used to be the cricket scorer, and so I never played any sports. I was a good runner, but I used to dodge playing sports.
Oh, yeah.
But my brothers all played cricket and hockey. Yeah. They were, A1 hockey players, cricket players. Yeah. I used to be the scorer.
Oh, and your dad had a vineyard at this stage.
Yeah, vineyard in Bishop Road.
Yeah. And did you work on the vineyard?
Yeah, we used to take our holidays, so we'd be home for the grape picking season over summer months like that to help.
Right.
Save the old man by getting people in to pick the grapes. The whole family. There was 14 kids, so we had plenty of grape pickers. Did Dad ever get into wine making? Oh yes, we had the wine selling plonk. Yeah.
So this place was situated
Bishop Road. Yeah. They're just down from the railway crossing.
Right.
And we had the vineyard. We had the house on a quarter-acre block. And our vineyard was on the opposite side of Bishop.
So that would have been between Bishop Road and Turgay Road.
Yeah. Turgay Road, Nick Turridge had that property, our neighbour Nick Turridge.
Oh, yeah.
And we had the vineyard on Bishop Road.
There's no houses?
No houses. That was, and my brothers ended up selling the properties later for housing estate. Yeah.
Right.
They ended up taking over Nick Turridge's property, and then they sold our vineyard on Bishop Road, and the Nick Turridge is on 2J Road.
Right.
And that's how it became the housing estate.
Right.
Yeah.
So were there social dances in those days?
Yeah, we're at the hall, up at the parish hall.
Yeah, where was that?
That was up on the corner of 2J Bishop Road. Bishop Road and Northern Highway.
Middle Swan Oval.
Middle Swan Oval. There was the parish hall was on the corner there.
Oh yeah.
And they used to have regular dances there on Saturday nights.
Yeah.
At the old parish hall at Middle Swan.
There was a little house just down the road. I think belonged to the Whitemans. Do you remember that? Just near the Oval. Roy Whiteman had a little house next to. There was a big place there belonged to Lou Whiteman. Right.
You had the brickyards, and then he had a cousin. Roy had a little house there just down that track at the back over opposite the railway line.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So there was Midland Brick weren't there at that stage.
No,
it was just...
you had the chemical works down the road. Where there used to be the big clay hole. The old clay hole was down there off the Great Northern Highway there. Yeah. There was a big clay hole, and they filled it in later. Yeah. There was a clay hole in there, and then you had the chemical works used to be in there.
Right.
It's a thing, and you also had the old brick kilns along that road, along the MR line.
Yeah, you would have remembered the old wood brick kilns that Lou Whiteman had.
Yeah, that's it. Those brick kilns are along along the MR line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have employed quite a few people, those brickyards.
It did. Yeah. Even my father worked there.
Yeah. And what about down the road was the Middle Swan Bridge? Did you spend much time at the Middle Swan?
Swimming. Yeah, we just there was the original bridge was lower down. Then they've demolished it and built that road across. They built another higher up at the other bridge. We used to all swim down that Middle Swan Bridge, the old bridge.
Yeah, I heard stories of doing double somersaults and stuff.
Somersaults off the top of the bridge, and had a rope hanging from the tree to do swinging out over the river and doing somersaults off that. Yeah.
So that was the only swimming hole around?
Yeah, and also West Midland. There used to be a swimming pool down at West Midland.
Oh, the old
Westie. The schools used to go down there for...
That'd be behind Governor Stirling.
Yeah, used to go down there for swimming lessons.
Right.
Yeah, but with most of us, we went up the old Middle Swan Bridge.
Yeah. When rock and roll came, do you remember the difference that made to dances and?
Well, I was.
Remember Warnock's?
I was never. All my brothers and sisters danced. I didn't. I never got into it. My brothers and sisters. There was 14 of us. All the others, the sisters and brothers, all good top dancers. But me, I was never interested.
Yeah. So you don't remember Warnock's in Midvale? They had a little place on the side where they had. It was like
I remember the name.
They had the snake pit in Scarborough.
Yeah, I remember the Warnocks. I remember the name.
Yeah, they had a little place there for dancing.
Yeah.
So, what sort of hobbies did you have to entertain yourself when you weren't working as a kid growing up with your mates?
We used to go to Middle Swan. I never went to Middle Swan School because we come down from York. All my brothers and sisters went to Middle Swan. I went straight to Midland. I was 13 or 14, so I went to high school in Midland. I was schooled in Midland.
Right.
And the other brothers and sisters went to the Middle Swan State School.
Right. So you didn't. In your book, you referred to a bloke with the name of Bert, I think it was.
Who?
Bert?
Bert Jannetty.
He was a bit of a character.
Yeah, Sebastian Jannetty. Bert.
What was his favourite occupation?
He had the vineyard next to our place there. He had a vineyard there, and he had a bit of a timber mill there too at Middle Swan.
Oh yeah. Just
off Bishop Road. Sebastian Jannetty.
And is he the one that played around with explosives? Who was the one that played around with explosives?
That was me.
That was you?
I was the one that no dynamite around.
Can you tell us some stories about that?
I know. Every time there was I used to go down to Farrell Road. We had the block down. I used to go down blowing stumps up there. I'd go down, level a plug of jelly night off, and no sooner I get home, the cops would be at my place. They knew who it was, but they never ever caught me. I'd be home, and I said, "No, it wasn't me. I said, I'm home."
Yeah.
But I'd bloody run or get on the push bike, and I'd be home after I lit a plug of jelly, and I'd blown up stumps down at Farrell Road.
Yeah.
I think I lit off half a plug of jelly near the old toilet facility, just the old. When they had the
Dunny Dump.
Dunny Dump,
Farrell Road.
Farrell Road,
That's now Stratton.
Yes.
Stratton Shopping Centre.
Yeah, just along there. There used to be we had the block of land next to it.
Oh, okay.
We had that 5 acres I had there, and I used to go down and I used to let off plugs of jelly night down there at the old Dunny.
Did you do that alone, or did you have some mates with you? Did you do that alone, or did you have mates with you?
Oh no, on my own. No.
Oh, right.
I used to steal a jelly knife from Bert Jannetty's place. Old Sebastian had a sawmill.
Right.
I'd go up there and I found out where he had his stack of plugs of jelly knife and detonators and fuse. And being an old boy from Boulder, I knew how to put the fuse into detonators.
You were educated.
I was educated. Look at Goldfields, boys. I used to go down to Farrell Road where they had the 10-acre block there, and I used to go down blowing up stumps.
So how did you get around? You wouldn't have when you turned 17, you wouldn't have bought a car like
I never ever driven a vehicle in my life.
Oh, there you go.
No, so I was ride the bike or walk.
Right.
Yeah, never driven a vehicle.
So when you were working at the goods shed in Midland, you walk from Middle Swan?
No, I used to catch a bus or bike.
Oh,
I used to ride the bike.
Yeah.
You used to have put your rain gear on, the overall pants on. I'd be dressed in a suit and then put the raincoat on and the pants over the suit, and when you got to work, just take off the rain gear and you'd be dressed.
So was it mandatory to wear a suit to the goods office in Midland?
Not really, but I used to wear a collar and tie all the time, mostly.
Most of the station officers had uniforms. They didn't supply
well, I had a uniform. I was station master donger and as a relief officer, but I always used to wear a suit to work.
Yeah. And do you remember much about the Midland Railway Company and their operations when they were operating out of Centrepointe area there?
Yeah, I remember them, but they used to deal with them. I've forgotten their names now. You know, I knew quite a number of the blokes who worked over in the good, like the MR good sheds.
Johnny Dernan used to work there.
I can't think of their names now. I think I've written them up somewhere, probably.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's more what sort of activities there were around, because it would have been all steam engines in those days.
Yeah, what steam? We had a few diesels come in later. Because when I started off as a junior clerk in 1947, I went to Kalgoorlie.
Yeah.
On the switchboard at Kalgoorlie and junior clerk bowled, and then that was all steam trains. There was no diesel. Even though I come back to Midland, and I worked in the goods sheds.
So the Midland Railway Company had their depot at Centrepointe.
Yeah.
You never ever got over there? You didn't have to go over there to sort of visit them to do...
No, I knew that some of the staff on there, we used to deal with them, but never ever worked for them.
Right, and the train used to go out of... When it came out of Centrepointe, do you remember where it went?
Yeah. The depot, well, there's photos. They had the depot over there at where Centrepointe is now.
Yeah.
That was the depot there. Then you had and even over towards the Railway Hotel, the West Midland pub.
Yeah.
You had the coal dump there.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, there was the coal dump there.
The coal dam.
Yeah, and then they had the coal dam and had the coal there.
And the railway used to run out. The goods trains used to run out of Midland across the railway crossing.
Yeah.
At the
station, at the top end of the yard.
At the old Midland post office.
Yeah, the railway crossing there. And at night time, we used to send a porter up there to direct the traffic coming out of the workshops, both ends. You know, down the eastern end and up the western end. You know, you had to put a couple of porters have to go down to direct the traffic.
Oh, they'd be like flagmen.
After the 4:15 when the workshops come out. So you had them coming out both ends of the bloody one down the Bellevue end and up at the...
Right.
Yeah.
Because all the passenger trains for the Midland Railway Company left from the Midland Station.
Yeah, Midland Station, by the Lenaville Hotel.
Yeah.
The railway station
and
was there.
They went out near McDonald's there, up Lloyd Street.
Yeah. So they had I worked at the old railway station. I was on the switchboard there, opposite the...
And do you remember the trains going up Lloyd Street then? The train used to go up Lloyd Street.
Which is...
Lloyd Street is up past Morrison Lodge there now. The old people's place, going out towards Middle Swan Oval. The rail line used to go out.
With the Midland Railway line went through.
Midland Railway line,
yeah. Yeah, they used to go past the Freemasons Hotel.
Yep.
Past Toohey Gardens round the back way.
Yeah.
And they went out through Middle Swan.
That's right.
Yeah. Used to go past. We'd lived down in Bishop Road, so the crossing was just up
right
our
just
place.
Near there.
Yeah.
And did they have stop signs, or did they have just crossing across on it?
Just crossed on it. There was no stop signs.
No. There would have been a few car accidents, I imagine, with trains.
No, I don't remember any, to be honest.
Oh, good.
No. Most of us had push bikes.
Because the trains wouldn't have gone very fast in
those days. No. They used to get the shunter, used to come out to Middle Swan there, because you had the chemical works down there at Middle Swan.
Yeah, where were they located again?
Just down from, the Bishop Road, where the railway, Bishop Road.
Yeah.
And going up north.
Yeah.
And they were just down the end of there. There was
where Middle Swan Road went off. Where you went over to the bridge. Where you used to swim.
We lived in Bishop Road. The railway line went down, and the chemical works was just down going north. Just down,
right?
Yeah, okay. And they were near. There was from the main road over. There was the old clay holes.
Oh yeah, and where was Swan was over there.
Yes, Swan was up further.
Further
over. Up on Middle Swan Road.
Right.
Yeah, over the bridge.
Can you tell me when Stefanelli's opened up their operation, the wood yard, you know?
I remember 'em, when they started off first, John and his brothers, because they come down there, they didn't know English, and they had to work out their super feet for them, things like that.
Is that right?
Yes, true. They didn't know how to work out super feet, and can't work them out now, but I did. I gave them the formulas and worked out super feet for them so they could cut their bloody timber.
So they bought that property and set up a wood mill there.
Wood mill there, yeah. John and his brothers, yeah.
Did they? That Tony, I think, was it Tony?
There was Tony and John.
And did
and
they?
Pasquale.
Did they used to go out and cut the wood, or did they rely on people bringing wood in?
They were cutting them first. I think they were cutting it themselves first. Then they used to had the log cutters doing it for them. Yeah. Even my uncle was working for it, cutting timber for them. And even my old man cut sleepers for them.
Yeah. And then eventually the family moved to the other side of the rail line where the chicken farm is.
Oh yeah. That used to belong to Tony Woolletts.
Oh, yeah.
He had the property. Then my brothers bought the property from there and started the poultry farm over there.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I think we've covered pretty much everything. Do you remember much about the centre of Midland and what stores there were in Elena Street?
You had Free Corns, Aitken's store. You had Bill Lidlow's butcher shop up the corner next to the bank.
Oh, yeah.
The Bank of New South Wales was there, one corner, bank and commercial on one side, post office the other side, and Bill Lidlow's butcher shop was next to the bank up there and Free Corns was next to there.
Right.
And you had Woolworths and Coles down there going down towards the
chemist
pub.
Shops there too.
And the chemist shop in there, Clune's chemist shop.
Yeah. And
I think
news agency?
that was further over the road on the...
and then going down was on the right was the Council Club.
Council Club pub,
Remember the Council Club pub?
Yeah.
And then
then you had Major's stock place, the chaff place. That was Major's, and the later on become, who was it?
WA Produce.
WA Produce, but it used to be Warren Major had it. And he had the big mansion on the corner with the bank and all that place. It was beautiful, where the dentist was across the road. There used to be a dentist on the corner, Campbell's, the dentist shop, and on the other corner was Fry and Cant's house, Len Cant's house, big mansion he had there.
What was on the corner of what, Great Northern Highway?
And that road that goes up towards the Oval. There was there was a big mansion there. That was Len Cant.
Is that right?
He had Fry and Cant, the produce place.
Oh,
yeah.
And the police station was just there.
Over the road from the pub.
And then I think Walsh's were just down the road.
Yeah, Walsh's drapery store. I can picture, what was his name? Shit, I can picture him still, see the bloke who run the bloody places to drink with him. I can't think of his name now.
And then next door, do you remember who was next door to Walsh's? The cyclist?
Oh, Flash Cycles, Eddie Barron.
Eddie Barron,
yeah.
Did you ever get to the cycling on a Friday night?
I might have got occasion, but I used to bought me bikes from bloody Eddie Barron.
Yeah.
And his brother, I used to drink with his brother. What was his brother's name? He had a brother, he's an alcoholic like me.
And moving up, there was another little hall. I think it was a Friendly Society's hall.
Oh yeah, the little hall there. Yeah. Used to have dances there.
They have dances in there.
Yeah. It was built back off the road with a gravel driveway in the front.
Oh yeah, and then further up was the garage on the corner.
Yeah, that was Eckersley's garage.
I don't know, but Ivan Ersick eventually had it.
Yeah, Ivan Ersick had it. It was Eckersley had it originally. Yeah.
And
I've written about it in some of my books.
Yeah. I remember Sabrina came there to Ivan Ersick's garage once. She was a personality at the time.
Yeah, I remember the name, but I can't.
Then opposite there was the convent.
Convent, yes, yeah.
Well, I think we've covered pretty much everything around Midland.
Yeah, the
If you can think of anything else.
well, you had the House of Humour we used to call Brucey Cale's pub.
Oh,
Lena Vale.
Yeah.
Yeah, and old Bruce was a mate. I used to go up to his bedroom. I'd get there at 6 o'clock in the morning, the dawn patrol, and I'd go up to you sleep in the four-post of bed. I'd go to his, who's that? It's Phil. He said, oh, the keys are in me pocket. I'd get the keys down and open the bloody bar.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
What time did he open?
Well, I'd be there at 6 o'clock, up past 6 in the morning.
Oh, right.
We used to call it the dawn patrol.
Oh.
And all the local drunks would be there. And I'd be down there drinking brandy and so forth, and Bruce would eventually come down, and he'd come down in his pyjamas.
So there was the Helena Vale, then going down the road there was another pub.
The Commercial.
Yeah, that's right.
You're going towards the railway station.
Yeah, and then there was a bakery down there, wasn't there?
Oh, Bakehouse used to be around the corner.
Yeah. What was his name? Donny's.
Donny's Bakery, yeah.
And then, of course,
there was another bakery down at West Midland too, wasn't there?
And did you know the mob at the Freemasons Hotel?
Oh, Percy Valmadre.
That's right, yeah.
Percy, yeah.
He was a big character in Midland.
Big Percy, yeah.
And then of course the other hotels, well, the council club.
Council club, yeah.
And then opposite there,
the council club was Vern Bevan.
Oh, yeah.
Vern Bevan had the council club originally.
We never talked about it.
You had the Commercial, you had the West Midland.
Yeah, the
railway, yeah.
And just coming back into the centre of Midland, did you ever go to the Renowned Theatre?
Oh yeah, the Renowned Theatre. We used to go Saturday afternoons to the pictures, walk from Middle Swan to go to the matinee.
Is that right?
Saturdays, yeah.
And then they
the big bloke used to run it was Gilly Trefry.
Oh yeah.
He was a real big bloke, Gilly Trefry.
I remember there was a bloke, I don't know what his first name was, but they used to call him Herring Guts.
Oh, that was the young bloke he took over as the manager.
Yeah.
He was tall bloke he was, Herring Guts, yeah. yeah.
Look, I think we'll leave it there. We've covered a fair bit of stuff in Midland growing up, eh?
Oh yeah.
Well, thanks.
The House of Humour was Brucey Cale's pub, and it was called the House of Humour.
But why did they call it the House of Humour?
I don't know, because you got all sorts come there.
All sorts, yeah.
I used to go there one morning. I'd be there at 6 o'clock in the morning and start work till bloody 9.
Yeah.
And I'd come in there and Bruce would be in bed, and I'd go, he said, keys are in the pocket. I'd go up the four-post of bed, I'd get the keys, I'd go out and open the bar, and I'd be serving other drunks coming in to go getting their stuff to go to the workshops.
Yeah.
And Bruce would come down late, and I'd open up the bar.
Yeah, amazing.
I didn't start to work at 9 o'clock, and I'd be there at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Well, I think I'll finish it off there. We've covered a fair bit of stuff in Midland in the early days, so...
You've read my books, haven't you?
Yeah. There's a lot of stories in there that people need to
the others... Where's the other...
The main book, The Life Will Always Help,
Oh, that one there,
by Phil Brajkovich in 1988. I recommend anybody who wants to know more about Phil Brajkovich, you should be able to get that book from the library. So we'll finish it off there. Thanks very much.